Joe Zarzaur here with another segment of Zarzaur Law TV. I get a call every once in a while where somebody says to me, I was in a wreck and the car that hit me was reported stolen. Is the owner of that car liable? It's a good question, right? Because you would think that, oh, if somebody steals my car, I'm not going to be responsible for it. Well, that's not exactly correct. The law forces you as the owner of the vehicle to report that stolen vehicle within a reasonable amount of time. And here's why that's the case. Imagine if you could just report a car stolen and that would alleviate the need for you to be responsible for anything that happens in that car, no matter when it happened. So let's say, for instance, you gave your car to a friend of yours on a Monday, and Friday, that friend drives your car and has a wreck, and they return the car to you on Monday, and they say they hit a pole, and that's the reason for the damage to the car, and you don't think anything of it. You find out 2 weeks from then that actually they hit another car and the person's injured, and they're coming after you as the owner of the car, because in Florida, as we've set out in other blogs and other blogs and videos in this case, you know that an owner and a driver are equally responsible under Florida's dangerous instrumentality doctrine for whatever happens in that car. So the owner is liable, the driver's liable, even though the owner's not in the car, and they share liability in Florida. You don't have to prove that the owner did anything wrong, other than they gave permission to the driver to drive the car. However, there's an exception to that rule that says if the car is stolen or reported stolen, then the owner's off the hook. However, the owner has an obligation to report that car stolen within a reasonable amount of time, and it has to be a legitimate report of a stolen vehicle. It can't be, I told that guy he couldn't use the car on Friday, and he used it on Friday, and therefore stolen. That's going to be a permissible user, okay? It has to be a full-on theft of your vehicle by somebody that never had permission. There never was any gray area about it. It has to be stolen. Otherwise, you're going to get arrested for filing a false claim, right? So, the keys also matter from time to time, whether you gave somebody the keys or not, or they had access to the keys or not. An owner of a vehicle that knows that somebody of driving age is in their house and doesn't secure their keys can be held liable if that person takes the vehicle, because you are implicitly allowing them access to your keys, even though you didn't give them express permission to drive the car. So it's going to be questionable whether you can prove a stolen vehicle at that point if they thought they had permission to use the keys or the car. So to be clear, unless your car is absolutely, positively, 100% reported stolen by somebody that actually committed a theft of your vehicle, and there's no gray area, it wasn't somebody that was staying in your house, had access to your keys, that you had given permission before, any of that stuff, then you're going to be off the hook as the owner if it's truly stolen. If it's anything in between, you give a permission and stolen, any of that gray area in there, access to keys, implied permission, they exceeded the permission that you gave them. You told them you could use it till Thursday and they used it on Friday. Any of that stuff is going to have you on the hook for the wreck. So in Florida, if your car is really stolen, you should report it as soon as possible, because that stops the chain of your insurance being responsible or you being responsible for what happens in that vehicle. It's almost like a credit card. If your credit card gets stolen and you know it and you don't report it stolen, right, for 6 weeks, well, guess who's going to be responsible for those charges in those 6 weeks? You. But if you report your credit card stolen immediately, you're off the hook. It's the same way with cars in Florida. So if your car is stolen in Florida, make sure you report it as soon as possible, because that ends the chain of causation as far as the insurance coverage is concerned and your own personal liability as owner of the vehicle. If you have any questions about any car wreck cases involving ownership issues or just car wreck cases in general, you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE, or you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com. Thank you.